You're listening to the Free Thinkers Club Podcast Network.
What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another episode of All Factors Considered, and today I'm sitting down with the American Kombat Alliance's newest featherweight champion, and Cody the Bison Freeman. So no need to sparse words. We're going to get straight into it, man. What's going on, champ? How you living, man?
Feeling good, bro. Living real good. I had a big weekend, won a belt, got engaged, so I'm living real good right now.
Right on. That's good to hear, man. And yeah, once again, congratulations on that engagement. That's probably one of the bigger news that we got than even grabbing that belt, right? But
yeah.
Right on. Nonetheless, the first thing I got for you, man, where are you keeping the hardware at, man? You got that gold strap around your waist, you know what I'm saying? Where are you keeping that at? You got it at the crib? You send it over to your folks' house or what?
No, I left it up at the gym. I let them put it up in the trophy case, I just felt like I don't really got space for it here at the house, so I figured I'd rather bring it back to the gym.
Yeah.
That's where I put the work in. That's where it needs to be.
Right on, man. And not just that, right? That also goes to show that's inspiration and motivation for the other folks fighting out of, Fitness Fight Factory, right? Show the young guns, let them know, hey, man, you could do this too. But we've already talked about this before, man. This ain't the only thing that you're aiming for, right? We're looking for that 135 belt. That's what you wanted from the jump. You had to get the 145 because nobody wanted to fight you at 135. So now that's the plan. And listen, before we get into that stuff, man, let's just go over the Colin Wright fight really quickly, man. We had spoke earlier on fight day when you was going to fight Colin Wright. I was interviewing Valerie Soto, right? You was in the background, and I went and grabbed a prediction from you real quick. I said, hey, how you going to do it? I knew you was going to get it done, but I needed to know submission, knockout, decision, and you very confidently said, hey, man, I think knockout third or fourth round, man. My question is, you was calm as a cucumber, man. You was cool, calm, and collected. What does it take to flip that switch on for you to ensure that you're going to get the job done, even though you were looked at as such a big underdog going into this fight?
I like to treat it just like it's any other day, just like it's any practice. I feel like I perform really well in the gym, and if I can transfer that to the cage, there's not really many people that are going to, stop me, So, in the back, it's really just, I'll literally go through our practice routine of warm-ups and, kind of do it just as if it was in the practice, and then I'll go in there, beforehand. I had Levi in the back, and, he brought his gloves, and I kind of just went through it, did some flow sparring, kind of just getting ready, make some contact. That way I can kind of get the contact out of the way, feeling that, find my range. And then, honestly, once the music starts playing, I'm zoned out. That's it. I'm there, and I'm there to kill, bro. So I just like to get in that flow state and just let things happen.
Right on, man. We said it, right? Once you hear them hums coming out, we know someone's going to sleep, right?
Yeah.
So we got
the Kid Cudi's playing, bro. Somebody's getting finished, bro.
There we go.
100% finish rate walking out the Kid Cudi.
Right on, man. But listen, man, so I know you're not necessarily a proponent of game plans, right? You don't want to go in there and you don't want to stick to one thing, but since you were thinking knockout going into the fight, was there any point in that first round where you're like, all right, man, well, I called it, I got to bring it to fruition, or once you get in the cage, is it literally however I get the win, I get the win, it does not matter?
Yeah, no, really, it's just however it happens, once I get in there, I don't really think about anything that was said before or anything like that, but the reason that I had predicted knockout was more just because, I don't really do game plans, but in my mind, when I throughout all the times that I kind of played it out in my head, the way I saw it going was going to be me for a round and a half, just moving around, picking at them, kind of getting them with the jab, making them miss, making them tired, and then after that, it was going to be me coming forward and pressuring and putting the heavier strikes at that point. I didn't really have a plan, to grapple with them. I didn't see me grappling with them, not because I couldn't, obviously, but just because I felt like I was going to be far superior, in the striking department. And, choking people's fun, but, to put somebody to sleep is a lot more fun, so if I can make that happen, then that's what I want to do.
No, understood. And like I said, the win is the win. At the end of the day, you got the belt wrapped around your waist, and I think going home, that's a very happy feeling right there, man. But
Yeah.
I just want to know, were there any words said after, you and Colin? Did you guys exchange any formalities? They say all the animosity in the ring, but as soon as the fight's over, man, it's all respect. So
Yeah, and I had a lot of respect for Colin going into this fight. Like I said, the only reason I really took the fight was mostly just because I couldn't get anything lined up at either 45 or 35. Watch out, bro! You're knocking on a tripod. But there was no animosity going into it. There was none afterwards. We talked shortly after. He had told me that he was embarrassed and whatnot. If you go out there and lose, it's disheartening. So, but I had actually trained at the same gym as him. And when I go down to Houston, like I trained at Main Street, me and Val go down there. I had never gotten to train with Colin. He had never been there by the times that I went. But I'm familiar with like his team and his coach and stuff like that. So I had a lot of respect going in, and I felt the same way going out. It's respect all around. And like I told him afterwards, like I'd like to come down there and get some training in with him sometime in the near future.
right on. That's the best way to do it, man. Like I said, it's no burning bridges, right? Just build those connections and see how you can help each other become better fighters, man. Like, combat, that's the one thing I love about combat sports, man. It's a different feeling. And, only you two are going to know what that experience was like in there. Only y'all share that bond, right? So, but nonetheless, man. So listen, I'm gonna get straight to the quote, man. After LFA 62, when you won a split decision against Fernie Garcia, you said the quote, right? If you doubt me, don't do it, because I'm coming for all you bantamweights, and we can extend that out to the featherweights as well, man. But I want to know, listen, in the fight game, man, everybody's tough, everybody's strong, everybody's physical, right? But I don't think the same can be said about their mental fortitude, right? So how big is the chip on your shoulder, man? What do you have mentally that these other dudes aren't bringing to the table?
Man, like whether I am or not, I like to go in there and fight like I'm the underdog. I always feel like people are doubting me. Like even after this fight, like I went back and watched. I didn't even realize I said it, but like after the fight, I was asking like where my belt was, whatever. But then I started, yelling. I was like, doubt me now, right? Because like if I got to go in there with that chip on my shoulder, because it drives me to reach new levels, right? Like it's like I told Colin afterwards, like knowing that I was going into this fight with him, like it caused me to like step my game up. Mm-hmm. Knowing that I'm fighting this dude upper weight class who's everybody's talking about, it's ready for the UFC and all that. Like it caused me to really like push myself to my limits, like and kind of like just reach that next level, bro. So yeah, I like to go in there with that chip on my shoulder and kind of just that can't be broken mentality.
Would you argue that there's actually a benefit to that mentality of looking at yourself as just the underdog? Because when you're the champ, right? When you're the dude who's like, oh, I'm supposed to, who's this dude, right? We talked about records, right? That's something that you got to look at, when you kind of taking an opponent, right? Oh, who is this dude? He got a couple losses on his record. All right, let me go take care of business. You don't necessarily have that same, like you were saying, man, he's pushing you to new heights because you're ready for the moment. You're ready for the challenge. All the people was saying, like I said, man, the first thing they said was, oh, this dude, Cody Freeman, he has a tall task ahead of him going into this. I don't know if he'll be able to do it. You come out in the first round, you starch him, and the commentators were literally just like, oh, okay, like that just happened. So you left them in disbelief, and that's even better than them having a lot of things to say. They were more or less speechless. Like, okay, I can't believe this dude who was UFC ready just got starched like that, but it is the fight game, and that's the way that it goes, man. So we've seen these double champs, right? You know what I mean? At the Cage Warriors level, at the regional scene, we've seen them leverage that opportunity into a UFC shot, man. So when that comes to fruition for you, when you get that double strap, when you got two joints like Conor McGregor hanging around your shoulders or whatever the case may be, what stylistic problems do you see yourself giving the fighters in the bantamweight division of the UFC?
Stylistically, man, like I feel like I'm a problem for anybody, just because I have the ability to change my game up like vastly. Like at 1 minute I can be that dude that's sticking and moving, going around like cutting the angles and just kind of evading, and then next, if that's not working, I have the ability to go and fight in the pocket. I have the ability to go and bring the fight to you. Or if I want to Khabib you, I'm going to Khabib you. I'm going to take you down and I'm going to control you. Like I have the ability to change my game up all like, and it's effortless,
I want to talk about, you went straight back to training really, really quickly. You didn't really have too many injuries. You didn't, get pieced up whatsoever necessarily. In the gym right now, man, how are people looking at you right now? Did they already know this was going to happen? Is there a new level of respect for you? What, walk me through that.
I mean, nothing's really changed, man. Like, I feel like my teammates know how hard I work, and they know how, my skill level. They know that I have the ability to go in there and beat anybody at any given time, so nothing's really changed. Of course, I walked in on Tuesday after I got back from Colorado. I had the belt, whatever, bring it in, and everybody kind of like, gave me like, made fun of me a little bit, but yeah, no, nothing's really changed, man. Like it's back to the grind. There's no different look. I got the belt, but I enjoy it for a couple of days, and after that, it's back to the next goal. Like moving forward. I got to get the 35 belt. After that, I'm focusing on. I'm trying to get to the UFC, getting the actual belt, the belt that matters. That world championship.
100%, and that's a good goal to have, and that's kind of that beauty. Like I said, we spoke before talking about how like that's that champion mentality, right? You can't sit there and linger on the victories too long, man. You got to get right back to work, man, because the other people, the people that have the big belt in the UFC and whatnot, they still working every single day, man. They not stopping. But listen, you didn't get to show off much of your, offensive repertoire during this fight. It was so short, Yeah. But you've got incredible flying knee knockouts, man. You got Darce chokes, you got 2 rear naked chokes against Debonair Jones and now Colin Wright. What are a couple tricks you got up your sleeve that you haven't been able to show off that maybe you killing people with in the gym or whatnot?
Man, like I honestly, I got some funky stuff that I throw in the gym, man. Like people will tell you, like anybody that trains with me, like I'm real tricky. Like I throw a lot of weird stuff and I'll come at weird angles. I got some slick little elbows that I'm trying to get to show, in a fight coming up. Like I kind of wanted to show him in this fight, but I didn't really get the chance. So yeah, I mean, going forward, I guess just look out, bro, because I'm really trying to like show off that I'm not like, grappling is my base, but I love to strike. I love to look for that highlight reel knockout if I can.
No, right on, man. And that's what, really gets it's unfortunate that it is this way, right? But that's what goes viral. That's what gets people's attention is the big knockouts, the big finishes, and all that good stuff. And I mean, listen, you could have an incredible, UD win and just dominate people all day long, but sometimes that's not what people want to see. And when you're building up that kind of repertoire, that resume, it's important. But like I said, man, you already got it. And I saw you actually went for the flying knee in the Colin Wright fight, man, and it didn't land.
Yeah, bro. Like literally skimmed right off his face, bro. I was like, fuck, man, I'm trying to get number 2.
So are you, are you a big fan of like Cory Sandhagen? This dude, he got the big flying knee knockout on Frankie Edgar and whatnot. Were you like, okay, I got to pull that one back out? You know what I'm saying? After seeing that fight?
Yeah, well, I'm a big Cory Sandhagen fan. Like, I love his style of striking and movement, bro. Like, he's so dynamic. It's ridiculous, bro. So I really like I watch a lot of Cory Sandhagen. I like to, see what he does and kind of add a little bit of things to my arsenal as well. But yeah, I'm just saying, I got the flying knee first. Before Masvidal, it was me. So, but then again, he did it on Frankie Edgar. So
yeah,
he's got me top, bro. He's got me top.
A little bit of a different stage, but you know what I'm saying? It's all good, man. But right before I kind of hit you with this last couple questions, man, I do want to know if you can give a little shout out to the folks over there at Fitness Fight Factory, man. What's one of the tougher sparring partners or training partners that you got? Someone you want to shout out over there at at your gym?
Oh, easy. Levi Mowles, bro. That's my main training partner. That's one of my best friends. I told him after the fight, and I'll say it again and again. Like I don't think I'd be at the level that I'm at without that dude pushing me every day. So like we go at it like on a daily basis. So and it's crazy. Like I wish I could get more like video of sparring and like our rounds and stuff, because we're out here hitting some crazy shit on each other all the time. It's wild scrambles, just going at it. So but yeah, as far as people that are pushing me, Levi Mowles is number 1 on that list.
Right on.
So shout out to him.
It's always good to surround yourself with a bunch of killers, man. I say it all the time. You're hanging around 5 killers, you'll become the 6. You hang around 5 unmotivated people who's trying to be lazy in the gym, you're going to be the 6. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Yeah, watch the company you keep. But nonetheless, man, so, to kind of conclude out here, man, we got some huge fights in the UFC this weekend. I'm sure UFC 259, man. And there's looking out for the future. If we're going to be in the UFC in about 8 months, man, you're going to have to really start seeing what these outcomes is going to be. So I got 2 questions for you in terms of these matchups, man. The first one I got is Dominick Cruz versus Kenney, man. Do you have any thoughts on that fight? Do you have a pick, man? A lot of people are counting out my boy Dominick Cruz just because he's kind of the grizzled old vet now, but I love Kenney, but Dominick Cruz is a monster. You got to watch for him.
Yeah, man, like it's a tough fight to pick just because we haven't really gotten to see, Cruz. Sorry, MMA is all about recent stuff. People are very short-sighted in MMA, and all they think back is Dominick Cruz versus Henry Cejudo. He got finished and this and that, and how he looked against Cody Garbrandt, but people forget that Dominick Cruz is a fucking killer, bro. Straight up killer. And it's I have a lot of respect for Kenney. Me and Kenney actually fought on a card together for LFA. I think he's really good. But I feel like Dominick Cruz is going to be too much for him, honestly.
There's some level of that experience, right? This dude, Dominick Cruz, was on a 13-fight win streak before losing 2 fights, and now all of a sudden it's oh, who's this washed-up dude? He defended the belt 3 times.
It's just for him to retire, no.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me, man. You know what I mean? Especially because all the stuff that happened with Keith Peterson in his last fight, and he's kind of making excuses and cigarettes and booze and all that, man. Yeah. Have you had any type of situation like that where a ref was kind of giving you a bad shake or anything like that, kind of in your fight so far?
I wouldn't say that I've gotten a bad shake or anything, but there was, my fight with Kyle Estrada, there was a situation the second round, I ended up getting a point taken away because I threw a front kick as Kyle stepped in, and I caught him in the balls, and he shook it off, and then later on in the round I threw the same technique. And literally, it's as he stepped in to jab me, and I hit him again. And they were both completely accidental. I'm not out here trying to hit nobody in the cup, bro. Especially because the second round is when I started to get my momentum going in that fight. So, but I apologized to him, and Kyle was actually saying to the ref, Don Turnage, he was telling him, he's like, hey, don't take a point. It was an accident. Don't take a point. And Don just ignored it and went ahead and took a point from me. So I honestly, had I not gotten the point taken away, that I no longer have a majority decision lost. I have a majority draw.
Yeah, so it's rough, man. It's rough that the referee can kind of dictate the outcome of the fight, but sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It's one of the hardest jobs in the world, because when you do good, you don't get any credit. It's only when you do bad, then everyone's talking crazy on you. So
I don't fault referees, bro. I've never done MMA refereeing, but I've refereed wrestling and youth wrestling tournaments and stuff like that, and it's a lot of pressure, bro. And to add the level of violence that goes with MMA, there's a lot of weight on your shoulders, and there's a lot of people watching all the time. So it's the smallest things people really like to critique.
No, understood, man. So before I hit this last question for you, man, ultimately, I guess it comes down to this. I want to know your opinion, because we're talking about refereeing right now, and this is something I feel incredibly strongly about, and it just happened in UFC Vegas 20, man. It was Maeda Bueno Silva is getting taken down by Montana De La Rosa, grabs the cage, which prevents the takedown, and gets a point taken immediately. And I was like, you know what? Yes, we need that, because people who are coming from this grappling base, who are taking 2.5 minutes just working on a takedown and finally get it, and then they grab the cage like that, man. I just think it's such a game changer, and it can completely change the outcome of the fight. So what are your thoughts on grabbing the cage? Is that automatic point? Is it a warning? I know when you're in the fight, man, you're thinking about survival. You have a lot of people, they're not thinking about it's just subconsciously they grab it, or their toes clenching it. You're just trying to get out the position. So what are your thoughts on fence grabbing?
As far as fence grabbing goes, I feel if it's blatant and it stops, a big takedown, you should get the point taken away, or at least, you should start down. They should have you in a non-dominant position. I can't remember where I was watching. It actually might have been my card actually that I just fought on. I was going back and watching it, but somebody grabbed the fence and they ended up taking a point away, but they ended up starting to back out in the center. And I was like, okay, you took the point away, but now this dude's still where he wants to be. Like, he's still out there, like, because it was a striker versus grappler, like pure striker versus pure grappler. And it's like, now you let this dude start in the center, and he's right where he wants to be. Like, so he might have had the point taken away, but what if he comes out and just sleeps his dude, like, in the next couple seconds? Like, it doesn't matter about the point being taken away at that point.
It's true.
So I feel like it should be point taken away, and you're still in bad position.
Yeah, and that's actually I don't know if you listen to a bunch of like MMA podcasts and stuff like that, but I like the Weighing In podcast with Big John McCarthy and Josh Thompson. And Big John, man, he's the one who made the rules in the UFC, right? He was saying that's what you should do. You should put him back kind of in that position right there. Don't just set him up in the middle or whatever the case. Basically echoing exactly what you're saying. But nonetheless, man, you said you was the big Sandhagen fan. Enter the Sandman. He's fighting. He's not fighting, but Aljamain Sterling is fighting Petr for the Bantamweight Championship, man. How do you see that one playing out?
I got Aljo by sub in the third.
Oh, okay. Interesting. What do you think? Petr Yan, he's not a proven champ, man. He just got the belt. He's never defended it, anything like that, man. What do you think kind of lends to that submission skills? I think beyond his beautiful European-style boxing and his footwork and his, takedown defense and stuff like that, man, he's really solid. But Aljo, yeah, that's a scary man. That's a very scary man.
Yeah, man. Like, I saw what Aljo did to Cory Sandhagen, and Cory. I feel like Cory Sandhagen is a better striker than Petr Yan.
Yeah.
And not to mention he's longer, so he had to fight to get inside on him. Yan's gonna be right there. Like, he might stop the first few, but I think as the fight wears on, like, Aljo's gonna get him. Aljo's gonna end up taking his back, and he's gonna sub him.
Right on.
No doubt. Like you said, I can't remember. I think it was Sandhagen who said the other day, like, Yan was basically gifted the belt. Like, I like Petr Yan. I like watching him fight, but he was basically gifted the belt. Who did he fight for the belt? He fought Aldo.
It was Aldo for the vacant belt, yeah.
Yeah, he fought Aldo for the belt, and before that, he fought Uriah Faber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's been way tougher routes for belts, bro. Like, he was basically gifted it.
Yeah, and now you got to defend it, though, and that's the hard part, right? It's easy to get it. It's hard to keep it, and you know what I mean? You about to do that firsthand, man, so you know what I'm saying? Listen, at the end of the day, man, when are we seeing you in the cage next, man? When are we getting this next belt, or when are we defending the featherweight belt? What's it going to be?
We're working for May in Baton Rouge for AKA, working for that 35 strap, so we're trying to get that put together. So hopefully we get that lined up soon. I can get some actual news on that and get confirmation. I'd like to do that, and then hopefully, really, I like to fight at least 3 more times this year. So honestly, I'd like to be in the UFC by this time next year, if not earlier.
Right on, man. We got that 8-month plan, right? 12-month plan, whatever the case may be. Hey, listen, man, I'm rooting for you all the way, man. Let's rock. Let's get them belts and do the whole 9, make history, get into the UFC and do all that stuff, man. But listen, Cody, man, thank you for your time. I really appreciate you, man, and all the best of luck to you in your career. I can't wait to see your next fight. All right, man?
All right, bro. I appreciate you. I appreciate you reaching out and doing this. This is awesome.
Right on, right on. All right, man. I'll talk to you later, man. All right, peace out, man.
All right, bro.
Yep.
See you, bro.